This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. The Royal Bahamas Police Force has responded to a rise in theft at Cable Beach and what beach visitors can do to prevent such activity from happening to them. Officer in charge of the Cable Beach Police Station and the COVID Enforcement Unit, Chief Superintendent of Police, Shivago Dames, told reporters earlier today at a press conference that there's been a recent string of robberies at the Goodmans Bay Beach as people leave their car and valuables unattended.
Over the last several weeks, Cable Beach Division has been experiencing an increase in stealing from vehicles, more so from persons coming into the area to enjoy our beaches. Understanding the factors that contribute to this will help mitigate against this vexing problem. In general, personal items are targeted. Loose change, wallets, laptops, and the like.
This comes off the heels of the government relaxing COVID-19 safety protocols, and more Bahamians are heading to the beach to beat the summer heat. That said, Chief Superintendent Dames urging beachgoers to remain vigilant and take proper precautions to protect their belongings.
Ways to help mitigate against stealing from vehicles. Ensure that your vehicles are locked and your windows are properly up when leaving your vehicles unattended. Install an audible alarm. Be on the alert. When you come to the beaches, ensure that you are on the alert. Most importantly, I want to say to you, when you come to the beaches, do not bring valuables and leave them in your vehicles. Leave all of your valuables at home.
While Chief Superintendent Dames is still monitoring the situation closely, he believes that if the public takes the correct precautionary measures, there will be a significant decline in beach crime. The Bahamas is gearing up to celebrate its 48th Independence Day celebration, and not even COVID-19 can dampen the festivities. This year's celebration is a revival service with Salem Union Baptist Church as its backdrop under the theme Celebration of Life, Revive Us Again. While this year's celebration will still adhere to social distancing protocols and be largely virtual, Bahamians from around the country will still have an opportunity to show their national pride. Festivities kick off this Friday with a virtual Independence Day television program starting at 8 p.m. Some government officials and dignitaries will give remarks at the official ceremony to pray for the nation's renewal and give thanks for how far we've come. It is also here that a selection of Bahamian artists and performers will showcase their talent and love for their Bahama land. The night celebrations will conclude with a fly grazing ceremony at Clifford Park at midnight to commemorate the dawn of our nation while the country still deals with the fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic. Bahamians can take a moment to feel pride in their beautiful Bahama land. Now, as we embark on another year of independence, which the Bahamas gained back in July of 1973, ending 325 years of British rule, the country has made some significant strides in becoming the greatest archipelago in the world. Jcn's news team spoke with a few sitting members of parliament who reflected on the country's journey this far. Here's Laurencia Smith with that story.
The Bahamas has come a long way since the Union Jack was lowered 48 years ago. A few politicians took a moment to reflect on the country's progress heading into another year of independence. The Bahamas is known for its strong Christian values as one of the anchors within the Constitution. Education Minister and MP for South Beach, Jeffrey Lloyd, says, "We as a country have a lot to thank the Almighty God for."
We are a Christian people who are enmeshed with spiritual values, and that we will be governed essentially by our respect for each other, respect for our God, and that we are an industrious people and will continue to preserve and to be resilient and creative no matter the circumstances, that we are a prosperous people, immensely talented, and that we can do anything that we put our minds to.
Since the achievement of independence, the country has had its fair shares of victories and losses that will impact generations to come. Some would debate that the losses will have a greater impact if we don't work together to learn from them. National Security Minister and MP for Montmoriah, Marvin Dame, says that he hopes as a people we continue to work together for the future generations so that they can have something to be proud of.
We need to move away from pulling each other down, which is something you see constantly, whether it's through social media, on talk shows, right? We all have a contribution to make, no matter who we are or where we're from, right? And every contribution is important. if we're gonna move this country in the direction in which it needs to go. I'm proud of the Bahamas, this country I call home.
Millennials around the world are making moves that will impact their country, and Bahamian millennials are doing the same. MP for Baines and Grantstown Travis Robinson notes that as the Bahamas celebrates another independence, he's very optimistic about the country's futures with millennials leading the way.
I look at the different arenas in our country, education, sports, youth development. We see a lot of young persons just like myself who are breaking barriers.
Each politician is firm in their beliefs that the country is moving in the right direction. I'm Laurencia Smith for Jcn News.
And as the holiday weekend approaches, the Royal Bahamas Police Force urging the public to be responsible and follow health and safety protocols to mitigate the spread of the virus.
According to the emergency power orders, social gatherings are not permitted. And so you are not allowed to have social gatherings of any number. You are not allowed to have persons come from a next family member house over to your house to have a social gathering. And if you do so, you will be fined in breach of the emergency power orders. And I want to remind you also that the emergency power orders give us the powers, persons inside the COVID enforcement unit, to issue citations for social gatherings in the amount of $2,000.
That's officer in charge of the COVID-19 Enforcement Unit, Chief Superintendent Shavargo Dames. He's also reminding the public that every person patronizing or attending a social gathering will be fined $300. Now, for clarification, this only applies to individuals who aren't fully vaccinated.
If you are fully vaccinated, according to the orders, if you are fully vaccinated, yes, and that's all of the persons who are attending that social gathering must be fully vaccinated in order to attend that social gathering. And so I want to assure you also that the COVID enforcement unit, we have put together a special operation just for this holiday. And so if we find that persons are at social gatherings, we will be stopping by to check if persons are fully vaccinated. And if you are not, whether it be one person, two persons, or three persons that are not fully vaccinated, you are in breach and you will be cited. And so I want to say to you, if you are having a social gathering, please ensure that all of those persons who are attending that social gathering are fully vaccinated. And if they are not fully vaccinated, once again, you will be in breach of the COVID enforcement orders and you will be fined.
And those fully vaccinated must ensure they're carrying their vaccination card, according to Chief Superintendent Dames.
To those restaurant owners, if you have persons that are coming in and dining in your restaurant, we ask please that you ensure, the onus is upon you to ensure that the persons who are dining in your restaurant are fully vaccinated. And I want to say to you pointedly, if the COVID enforcement unit or any officer comes to your restaurant or business places and persons are enjoying your facilities, and we ask if they are fully vaccinated and they cannot prove that they are fully vaccinated, according to the emergency power orders, you are in breach and you will be fined. And I must say to you once again, the fine for that is $2,000, and every patron that's in there will be fined $300. You will be fined $2,000 plus $300 for every patron, and the patrons there will be fined $300.
He added that quite a number of COVID ambassadors will be present on the beaches this holiday weekend and during the summer months. The number of people who can assemble in groups on beaches and parks has recently been expanded from 5 to 15. This rule applies to those in New Providence and Paradise Island, Grand Bahama, mainland Abaco, Eleuthera, Harbor Island, Great and Little Exuma. You're watching Jcn News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.